Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mindset Monday. I'm happy to be here with you. I hope you guys are having an amazing summer, doing super fun things. I just got back from a week at the beach camping, super fun. Had a lot of trips this summer. I have one more mini trip coming up, and let the school year begin, right? So, all right, guys, um, today I want to get back to the basics, back to the fundamentals of how we not only build income and revenue, but how we help our team build income and revenue. And a bigger piece of this is how we communicate to our team how they can be more successful. And I think we know in our minds how our team can become more successful, but a lot of times we're not communicating that to them and helping them to see where their opportunities are. And I think that could be a downfall for us as leaders. So let's get into it. Last week, or not last week, I was off last week, the week before, I did a live on pricing and my thoughts on pricing autonomy and the communication around pricing. And so if you didn't see that, I would go back and have a listen to that. And then this is not part two, but the two definitely connect. It's about building income. So, okay, guys. I want to start with some context and why I feel this topic is super important, which is how to communicate higher income opportunities for our staff. I hear all over, and I'm sure you maybe aren't not only hearing it, but experiencing this, that you're having a hard time with staff retention, you're having a hard time finding people to work for you. And this isn't the only reason. There are other factors out there. People are sourcing staff in different ways these days, but there is people have a certain perceived mindset around how much they're going to be paid in employment-based businesses and like what the optics are around the type of businesses that we run. And I feel like, gone are the days that we can actually just say, this is the percentage we pay, or this is what we pay, and then let the chips fall where they may. We have to become really good communicators at educating our team at all the different streams of revenue that are available to them to then capitalize on the clients that they're seeing. And I want to give you some examples of that today, and a way that we at our salons talk to our team and keep them motivated and keep them really engaged. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Glad you're joining in this morning. So for our employment-based business model, which is really the topic that I always dive into, this isn't just great for that business model, but if you're an employee out there, this is a great topic for you to listen to also, to be able to maybe look at your business differently and be able to um, uh, look at things a different way and be able to add different streams of revenue to your income so that by the end of the year, you have a better year than ever. We still have half the year to go. So it's 2024 is not lost yet. So, okay. Today I'm going to be going over talking about different streams of revenue and how to look at it and giving you some examples of it. So, and this may seem obvious to you, it may seem super fundamental to you, and maybe it is to you, but maybe it's not to your team. And sometimes I think because we know things, we assume that other people around us know those things. So we don't share the magic and we don't share the inspiration. And sometimes because it might feel like fundamental or basic to us, it doesn't mean that it also feels basic to somebody else. And I am a firm believer that when I am out teaching, when I'm out working with my staff, that I always try to think about and teach and do one-on-ones to like the lowest common denominator. And I always like to start at the beginning of what are those basics and then work our way up. So we're talking today about different streams of revenue and how to communicate that. And so I want to just give a few different streams of revenue that we could look at to not only help support our team to increase their income, but also as an owner to help support your income as well. Um, and so, I mean, I think it's obvious that a huge thing that we look at when we talk about how we get paid is our booked services. So, I mean, we have booked services on the schedule, and that's how we get paid. And if we break it down to a really easy formula, there's really two main things that contribute to our paycheck. And that is how many clients we see in a day and how many butts are in our chair, which is how many clients we see in the day and what we charge each client, right? So those two things are going to determine and dictate what the paycheck ends up being. So booked services is something that most people track. They say, well, how many clients am I going to see today? Or how much is my day worth today? What's the value of my day? I want to propose that we definitely come in early and look at what the value of our day is, but after we look at the value of our day, that we look at where the opportunity lies in that day in order to service our guests at a deeper level and to be able to see where there could be more earning potential for ourselves and also for the business. So let's just say, and I'm going to just do this example, I'm going to use the same example through this whole live today. And I'm going to say that, let's say that our average ticket for a booked service. Hey, Mandy, it's good to see you too. I haven't seen you in a while. Great to see you. Let's say that our booked service, our average ticket for a booked service is $100. So let's just do some easy math today. I'm looking down because I made a lot of notes today. I want to make sure that I stay on track. So let's just say we charge $100 for a booked service, um, and we are looking at, we're seeing 6 clients in a day on average. Okay. So if we're charging $100 and I have 6 clients that are coming in today, then basically the value of my day is $600, right? So once we look at the value of our day, at our salon, we have a practice called worksheeting our tickets. And worksheeting our tickets is writing down the value of the booked day and then writing down everything else that's available with those clients that are coming in that could service the guests at a deeper level and also increase our revenue. So one of the things is add-on services. And I know that we hear about that all the time, but I want to share with you how powerful all of these different streams of revenue are. And as I'm talking to you about these different streams of revenue that we have, that we're talking about today, I want you to think in your mind, if you're an owner, if you're a leader or a manager, how can I then talk to my staff about these so that they can understand it in a really easy way also, and that would motivate them to look at their books like that. So in the morning, we look at the value of the book. We say, hey, if I'm an order taker and I have 6 clients, my average ticket is $100. I have a 600 value day, right? But what's available? So if we look at add-on services, and I'm going to just be really conservative and say, let's say I add on conditioning treatments to my clients, and maybe I add on a conditioning treatment to 50% of my clients that day. So that would then obviously mean that 3 out of the 6 of my clients today are going to get a conditioning treatment. And let's just say, for conservative sake, it's $30 for a conditioning treatment. There are many things that you can add on in the course of a day. You can add on color in the course of a day. You can add on a few highlights. You can add on a keratin treatment, protein treatments, moisture treatments. There's a million things you can add on. I want to just keep it simple for the sake of today. So if I looked at my books and I had the 6 people coming in, my average ticket is $100, and I ask one question to every one of my clients that came in. And that one question is, how do you feel the condition of your hair is? I'm going to guarantee that probably 90% of those clients are going to say my hair feels dry, or my hair is brittle, or my hair is trash, or whatever it's going to be. And you might have a small percentage that say my hair feels great, feels fine, feels normal to me. Of those clients, you could probably have the opportunity to offer a conditioning treatment on about half of those clients. And so if you offer them on half those clients, and half of those clients, the average ticket went to $130 for the day, you would be adding $90 onto your day. I mean, it's a simple conditioning treatment, but if you think about adding $90 onto each day, and I am working 20 days out of the month, that is another $1,800 of revenue for that one employee. Or if I'm a hairdresser, that's another $1,800 of revenue being brought in. If I get paid 40% commission, that's $720 additional of what I'm actually being compensated. And so that's not chump change, right? That's real money. And so and it's easy to be able to add that on because most of our clients are going to need that. It's something that I could say day in and day out that my hair needs moisture. I've been at the beach for a week. Was on the lake for 2 weeks. So I'm telling you right now, when I go to get my hair done on Tuesday, I will be getting a deep conditioning treatment and a gloss, because of the elements, right? And so that is, like I said, just one thing that could be added on. Maybe, and the other thing that I want to say about add-on conditioning treatments or any add-on treatments is, are you tracking? So if you don't have a separate line item in your POS system that's for add-on services or add-on conditioning treatments, I want to just tell you to do that now so that you can track, because you can't coach things that you can't measure with your team. So if you want to say, hey, wow, I see the value in doing add-on conditioning treatments because this is also what I call low-hanging fruit. Like, it's already there. Clients are already saying they have dry hair. They're already wanting more shine, especially this time of the year. If you're not tracking where you've been, it's hard to then set a goal for your team to be able to say, this is what I want to see you doing. And then, or you can set a goal, and if you're not tracking their success, the motivation starts to wane. You know that, and I know that. So when people are hyped about what they're doing and they're getting positive feedback, you have more longevity around whatever the thing is that you're launching. And so I ask you, is that something you're tracking? Is add-on services? That is a huge piece of income. Like I said, if you're seeing 6 people a day and half of them got a $30 add-on conditioning treatment, keratin treatment, protein, moisture, whatever, and that's being conservative. I mean, not many conditioning treatments are only $30. That's another $90 a day. And if you're working 20 days out of the month, that is $1,800 in revenue. And at 40%, that's another $720 a month. So, it's not always I have to get more clients. It's what am I doing with the clients that I have? How do we maximize the earning potential and maximize deepening the service with the actual guests that I have? So add-on treatments is one stream of revenue that cannot be underrated. Okay. But if you're not setting your intention in the morning and setting your intention before you start your day, you're going to get caught up in the conversations, and you won't be leading those conversations. The clients might be leading the conversations, and then you end up losing your opportunity to be able to do a really nice deep consultation with them to see really what their needs are, instead of talking about what your needs are, which is about your vacation or about your kids or about them going back to school. So we have to really harness what we want to talk to our clients about in the course of the day. The second stream of revenue is gratuity. And some of you listening may be gratuity-free salons. The majority of the people that I'm working with and that I talk to are not gratuity-free. In fact, their staff really look to gratuity to enhance their revenue. And I want to talk a little bit about gratuity. And sometimes, um, if there's a lot of cash rolling around, I mean, I know we put gratuity on the actual checks, and I know we pay taxes on that. I know it costs us more money as owners and leaders to do that, but I also see a lot of benefit to doing that. A lot of benefit is, and I don't know about you, but when I'm walking around with cash in my wallet, I'm just spending it and not really thinking it's a part of my income. I know it's backwards, but I think a lot of us think like that. It's just like, oh, I have cash, or I'm grabbing a wad of cash and I'm going to go out and spend it, but we're not looking at it as part of our overall income. And again, if you're just logging in this morning, we're talking about not only different streams of revenue, but how to communicate those streams of revenue to our staff so that they understand the importance of every little behavior, every question, every way we look at things in our business matters, and how we educate our team on how to look at things matters. Either we're in their ear about the narrative of their earnings, or their friend down the street is in their ear about the narrative about earnings. If it's up to me, I would rather take the first one and say, I want to have the narrative. I want to be in my team's ear. I want to be the one that is talking to them about their earning potential. So gratuity, they count on gratuity to use it, but they may not be looking at gratuity at what level of income that is for them. And when that gratuity is on the check, boy, can you really see how much annually people can be making. So I'm going to use the same example that I used in our first point, which is that let's just say that our average ticket is $100, and I have 6 people in the course of the day, and let's just say that we get tipped 20%. So if we're getting tipped 20% on that day, then actually what we're doing is we're doing 20% on this a $690 day. The $690 day is, I had 6 clients, my average ticket's $100, but half those clients got a conditioning treatment, which added $90 onto the day. It's $138 is 20% for gratuity. And when we look at that $138 by 20 days worked, we're looking at $2,760 a month in gratuity. That's huge for people. And if we're just taking the money and spending it out there day to day and not looking at it as a vital part of revenue, that is a disservice. And if we're not, again, communicating with our team on all the streams of revenue, everything that's available, and because you work under my roof and I'm committed to making sure you are busy and you're here and you're showing up and you're doing the clients that we're advertising and marketing for, part of the reason your gratuity is so high is because you're being also fed those clients. So again, what is the value of where your team works? What do they get when they work there? And they probably get a lot of things, but the question becomes, are you a good communicator to let your team know that all these things are in good part? Maybe they're great at promoting, but you're probably better at promoting, and you have brand recognition. And a lot of times our team don't think I have all these clients because of the place I work. And because I have these clients, I have this gratuity and I have this opportunity to add these services on. And then the minute they leave and go down the street, they're wondering, where are all these clients? But we didn't do a good enough job by saying, these are the streams of revenue available to you, and I want to take a look at that. Now, when you look at the $690 that somebody maybe brings in a day for, 6 clients, okay, $100 average ticket, they added $30 on to half of those clients, so you have a $690 day. 40% of that $690 day is probably around, $300 or so dollars that they would be paid. I haven't done that math, but the The gratuity is $138. So the tip really becomes almost 40 to 50% of what they're being paid, not what they're charging, but what they're being paid. So gratuity is a huge piece of income that in my eyes needs to be talked about and looked at that way, so your team can start saving their money and looking at it that way and claiming it, so that at the end of the year they want to buy a house or buy a car and their W-2 needs to look some certain way. That can almost double or 40% increase what the end of the year financials look like. Okay, so we talked about add-on services. We talked about gratuity. I want to talk about bonuses. Now, maybe you're a salon that offers retail bonuses or some other service bonuses. Like in our salon, we do retail bonuses, and we do also, if people do extensions, we do extension bonuses, right? So we offer 2 bonuses. You might offer a few bonuses. Hey, Tanya, good to see you. Tanya said we had a record week of add-ons last week since speaking about it every day in the morning huddle and launching our raffle contest. Okay, Tanya, you know that, don't make me cry. I'm so proud of you. Oh my God, that makes my heart happy. You worked very hard for that. Yeah, when we put attention on something, we get traction, and you put the right intention on that. I am like, oh my God, I'm so happy about that. Okay, let me get focused. Thank you for that. You made my morning. I'm happy for you. Um, okay, we're talking about bonuses. All right. So some, like I said, maybe we do retail bonuses, maybe there's some extension bonuses, but let's just say that you're paying a retail bonus, okay? And let's say that your retail bonus is the minimum requirement to get a retail bonus would be $15 in retail per client, okay? And let's say that your team gets 10% of the retail they sell if they're selling on average of some certain amount, say $15 retail per client ticket. If we're using the same example, you had 6 clients in a day and they work 20 days in the month, that would mean their retail would be $1,800 in a month. And let's just say that they got a 10% bonus on that. That's another $180 in the month. Might not sound like a ton of money, but we're going to talk about what this is annually after we look at what it is monthly. And you're just gonna, I think it's gonna be maybe a mic drop moment. Maybe it just is for me, because I love looking at numbers and tracking the numbers. So, okay, that's $180. So if we add up the streams of revenue that we just talked about, we talked about add-on services, we talked about gratuity, we talked about possible bonuses. So we have our add-on services. We said if we did 50% add-on services at a $30 add-on service, which would be like 3 clients a day for those 20 days, that would be $1,800 a month. If somebody's getting paid 40%, that's $720 a month. Let's then add the $2,760 for gratuity for the month, add the $180 for retail bonus. Maybe you do other service bonuses. But the additional streams of revenue that we need to be talking to our staff about is, in this example alone, it's a hypothetical, this example alone, the additional revenue streams added up to $3,660 for the month. That is not the services booked. That's only what we're looking at as additional streams of revenue. That is almost $44,000 a year. So that's a lot. And if we're not educating our team that we're a part of helping them to create that and generate that, we are losing an opportunity. That's significant, okay? Now, if you pay, say, 40% commission, maybe you pay more, maybe you pay less, I'm just throwing it out there, okay? And on the same $690 we talked about a day, if your staff works 20 days, their revenue is going to be approximately $57,600 for the year. That would be what would be on their W-2 minus the add-on services, the additional streams of revenue. Then we have the additional streams of revenue, which was the 44,000, and we're looking at over $100,000 a year. That's not that hard. So when people say they can't make money in this industry, it's insane to me. And I hear people out there and coaches and coaching companies out there saying, don't track benchmarks and don't track KPIs and you don't need to track. Okay, you stop tracking then. Let your team come in whenever they want. Let them charge whatever they want. And then let them try to figure out how to make a living. If we take on the role as leaders, I've said this a million times for as many years as I've been talking, and it's been a lot of years. We take on the role as leaders. We take on the responsibility to help our team see beyond where they can naturally see. That is part of your job. If you're not doing that, then it might be time to relook at what you're tracking. And if you're not, start tracking the add-on services, tracking the gratuity. So we can't discount additional streams of revenue that equal almost 50% of somebody's annual income. So I'm going to break it down again, okay? For those of you that are just like popping in. All right. Oh my gosh, Tanya. So you guys went from 10 add-on services to 60 in a week. Is that what I'm reading? I hope I'm reading that right, because that's unbelievable. So, all right, guys, let me do the quick breakdown. Okay. We talked about 6 clients a day, working 20 days, average ticket $100, 50% add-on services with a minimum add-on of $30, a $15 retail ticket if you pay a 10% bonus, and 20% gratuity. Now, if maybe your staff is at 4 clients a day, you're like, well, Carrie, the other things are jiving, but my staff, they're at 4 clients a day. Well, then you know what your work is. Start tracking and get them to 6 clients a day. That's just 2 more clients a day. So let's get intentional. How many more clients a day do we need? How many add-on treatments do we need? How great of a service can I give that my client wants to tip me because I'm amazing? These are factors for overall revenue. It's not hard, but it takes focus. And I think Tanya, Miss Tanya Jones, is living proof. They went from 10 conditioning treatments in a week to 60 in a week because they started talking about it, tracking it, launching a contest around it. And if you're looking at $30 to $40 a treatment and they went from 10 to 60, do the math. I mean, that is pretty incredible. So how many of you, my question is for you, is how many of you focus, Tanya says, yeah, how many of you need to go back and start looking at these specific things to meet with your team about? Now, some people might say, well, gratuity is not like an add-on stream of revenue. Really? Because the way I figured it, if you're doing 6 clients a day at 20 days a month, that's $2,760 a month in gratuity. So times that by 12 months. That's a significant stream of revenue. And so we're at the add-on services. So look, today I wanted to come on here and I wanted to talk to you about getting back to the basics. Sometimes we get caught up in all of the other BS. And I want to just come back to the basics and say, how can I meet with my team in one-on-ones? How can we keep this conversation going in our team meetings? How can I have little drive-by or fly-by coaching sessions with my team? where I could say, hey, job well done in the middle of a day. How can I do that? I want you to get back to the basics, like you did maybe when you first opened your business, and talk to them about everything. We forget because we feel like we've talked to them about everything. You probably have, but maybe that was 10 years ago and you have new staff now. Have you talked to them about everything? Do they know all the gems and the nuggets that you shared early on that helped your team thrive in the past? Get back to basics because basics works. Um, So, what else do I have for you? If you guys are having an issue getting yourself together around how to communicate to your team, how to add some fun add on services, how to create content for your team, contests for your team, DM me, reach out. I'm here for you. I'm here to help. And I hope today was a good back to basics. I will be here next week. DM me or throw a comment around any topics you want me to talk about. I'm here for you. And by you guys being here, you help inspire me for the week. So it's so great to be here with you. I hope you guys have an amazing week and I can't wait to touch base. Send me messages. Tell me what you want to talk about next week. I'm here for it. Anything, almost. All right. Have a great rest of your summer. Bye, guys.